Hi YouTube, Al here, and as it's nearing Christmas, I don't really have much content for you at the moment, obviously with post and, money, it's Christmas. So I just thought I'd keep you up to date on what's going to be coming up on this channel and kind of what's going on with stuff that's been ongoing for a long time. So first, let's talk about the stuff that isn't here and I can't really show you. My Marshall NG 100 watt head, I've still got it. The Harley Benton 212, I've still got it. It's just kind of on long-term loan to a mate at the moment because he's doing a lot of gigs, so that's why it's not here to do demos with. It's mostly been my custom you've been seeing. However, I have got another amplifier because I traded my Marshall 50 watt JCM 2000 a while ago for an orange dual Terror. Now, this isn't quite okay at the moment. I mean, it slightly coughs when I touch the gain controls, and it's got the stock valves in it, and I plan to be swapping them out for some nicer valves, just so A, I know these old ones work and I have them as spares, and B, I know these ones are going to last. So that's it. I'm probably going to spray out the pots because I think it's the same problem as the Marshall. It's just literally these like in a guitar. So I want to do more demos with this. Obviously it's 30 watts, switchable down to 15 and down again to 7, so it makes a lot of sense for me to use this for demos. But yeah, I'm going to be using this hopefully when I get it less poorly. Second thing I'm talking about is my Blackstar HT 112. It's just a nice standard 112 cabinet. It's got the Blackbird 60 watt speaker in it. I've actually got a 100 watt speaker. To be honest, I only got a 100 watt speaker because my Marshall's a 100 watt head, and I figured, if I put a 100 watt speaker in here, I can put any bloody amp through it, and I can blast it, and it's going to be fine. So that's why I'm going to be swapping it out. Also, the Celestion's going to be higher efficiency, which means it's going to be perceivably louder. And I want to see what difference it makes to the tone. To be honest, it's only a nice little compact little cab. It's not like the Marshall ones, which are quite elongated. So yeah. Moving on to guitars, I got this recently for Christmas. It's just a very, 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 very cheap cigar box guitar. The brand is BBG. This is not wood, it's basically cardboard. But you know what? The neck is made of, apparently, a bloke online says it's oak, so sure, I'm going to believe that. But whatever, it's at least wood. Might well be oak, but it's at least wood from what I could tell. It's definitely wood. And it's one piece of wood that goes straight through here with the strings on. See the ferrules on the bottom and a little box around it. And you know what, the tuners ain't bad. I call the nuts more of a bolt, it's fine. The bridge, again, it's more of a bolt, that's fine. So this is basically, yes, basically a stick of wood with strings on, no truss rod obviously. 3 tuners, it's alright. It's alright, it stays in tune alright. I mean, the strings are really cheap, and I think that's why they're not staying in tune. It's plug-inable as well. There's a little pickup in here, probably a P8 So at some point I plan to get a cigar box, to be honest, just measure the dimensions around there and the arse, and put it in a new box. I want to see if we can get it more, I want to get it sounding more proper and more, well, this is it's card. It's not going to last, so I hopefully plan to get a new box for it. That'll be an interesting little project because the rest of it's perfectly fine. Next up, we have the Ratacaster Mark II. So this is now the no-name body. Well, I'll say no-name. Still got the old original scratch neck plate with the R on it. Yeah, as you know, it's been reshaped. You'll have seen it's been refinished. It's still got the nice pickups in it. It's still got the weird wiring. I'm just not really using it at the moment. However, I've had some real problems getting this piggin thing to play properly because it's a Squire, I think it's Affinity neck. This is on a no-name body. It's a right bugger to get the angle of the neck right, because if it's too far forward, then the action goes higher and higher as you go up, and if it's too far back, then obviously fretting out. So I've got to balance that with the relief in the neck. The nut has been cut terribly by me because I'm still learning, to be honest. Yeah, so it's let's see, the neck wasn't quite straight in the pocket actually. I put a couple of shims in there and a couple of shims in underneath to you can't really see obviously, but I don't know what I'm showing you, but to shim it to the right angle. Hopefully it'll play better now. But I'm still kind of working with this bit by bit, figuring out, is this relief that's causing this? Is it the neck angle that's causing this? Is it the nut that's causing this? Is it the string height that's causing this? So it is playing better. I'm getting it there. But by Christ, is this one fighting me all the way? Still sounds good. The annoying thing is it sounds great, but Christ, on a bike, is it a bugger to play? So that's the Ratocaster. Continuing the theme of strats, here's the Encore Strat. It's an ash body, it's a maple neck, it's a rosewood board. It's still here, I haven't got rid of it. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. However, the nut needs some attention because I'm getting some buzzing on the high E. I've tried different strings. In fact, there's quite a lot of fret wear on the first fret as well, if you can see that. It's quite flat, so I don't know if it needs a recrown or something, but at least the nut needs going, because the slots are too low and I'm getting fret buzz and it's really annoying. The more I look at it now, actually, the more I realise how really flat the surface of these frets are. Wow. They really need a recrown. So anyway, I'm going to get this sorted out next year with a nice new nut and probably a fret dress to clean it up a little bit. Next is my Ibanez JS100. It's still here. You haven't seen it in a hell of a long time, and here's why. I broke it because I'm silly. So I wanted to upgrade the capacitor in this to a nicer one because it had those horrible cheap green ones in that I just can't stand, to be honest. I was trying to replace it and I was trying to pull this knob off and the whole shaft came out and I was like, oh no! So I've got a new push pull in there now, but anyway, I didn't notice that it needs a grub screw, so I ended up pulling the whole thing out. But yeah, I'll put a new one in now. Still needs wiring up properly because for some reason, even though I followed the old wiring scheme, I've messed it up and it's not wired properly yet, annoyingly. The tuners are also still the stock ones, which are just awful, just really bad. I've still got that set of locking tuners. I still intend to have it put on this. It's just a case of when I can get it to my guy to do it. You know, live stuff in the way, all that. So Ibanez is still here. It's not going anywhere. But it's just not really in player's condition at the moment. Not really up and running. But I do intend to get it up and running. So next one. So the next one is my Encore little travel guitar. This is still a full scale length guitar. I believe it's 25.5 inches, but I know it's full length. It's just a very small body. It's kind of like a little G&L Rampage. I changed these knobs out to these chrome ones because they look nicer. I think that's all I've pretty much changed on this, to be honest. I'm hoping to get the neck plate screws replaced because there's no truss rod adjustment up there. It's down here, which means I'll have to take the neck off to adjust the relief on the neck. So I'm thinking if I get some threaded inserts, like Sam at Real Love Guitars uses, and have it in here, then you really have got a little travel guitar then, because it just comes apart, and because it's a threaded insert, it's not going to fatigue the wood. It's not going to pull out or anything like that. And if I need to unscrew it all the time to adjust the neck or whatever, then it's not going to damage the guitar. Again, the tuners were crap. They're off. Still haven't had a chance to take this into my guy and get the locking tuner sorted. There's a queue. Can you see a bit of a... Yeah, because every time I've got a couple of things needing doing, something else either breaks or I acquire something else. It just sort of builds up, really. But there we go. Stock humbucker. I did change the capacitor to my nice orange ones. The knobs are still the little mini potentiometers. But this one hopefully will be up and running soon. And finally, here's the robot Strat, the Madison. So, as you'll have last seen, I put Fender Mexican pickups in this. These are lefty pickups from a lefty guard, and so is the switch, and so is all the nice big CTS pots. Very nice stuff, actually. Apart from the plastic wiring, it's very nice stuff. So all that's been put in here, which is a ridiculously light guitar, like seriously, really, really light. Unfortunately, because I thought because all the electronics are left-handed, I swapped over the input and output wires because I want the pots to turn that way, not the other way around, because otherwise I'm turning the volume up by going like that, and it's ridiculous. But there's still gremlins in the wiring. I don't really know what I'm doing with wiring, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's honestly, it's just paint by numbers with a hot stick. So I found a diagram, I followed it as best I could. I improvised a bit, hasn't quite worked out, but I will get it sorted, it's fine. Again, another one I hope to get up and running soon, because I just have really bad luck with cheap guitars, or cheap guitars cause you a lot of problems, depending on your outlook on life. So, there you go. Next one I'm going to show you is the S-Jag. This is a vintage metal axe, spelt with 2 X's, or it was. It had black hardware. When I had it, it didn't have any hardware. It had 2 double wall blade sort of death buckers from Wilkinson, and I thought, nah, no. I saw that inlay and I thought, this is quite jazzy. What this needs is a humbucker and a P90 in the neck, and it's not quite wired up healthily yet. Again, some gremlins in the wiring. So the pickups are Vanson pickups, but the diagram I got to wire it up, the diagram was from Iron Gear, but the pickups are Vanson, so I kind of had to get the Vanson colour scheme, translate it to Iron Gear colour scheme, and then follow that diagram. And there's some ground hum, and I don't think I've done it quite right. So another one of these that is going to be up and running next year. The project is the Sunburst Strat. Now, of course, I was going to use the Shine neck on this, but it ended up being completely twisted and knackered, so I've got a Squire bullet neck for it, which is quite a nice little rosewood neck. I've put a round string retainer on it because I really like the way they look. I really like it, and when this is together, it's going to look lovely. But the no-name body screws on the back don't really line up with this, so yeah, it's another one of those that needs to be wired up. I mean, it's very roughly hewn. If you just look there, look how rough that is. Crikey, look at that. Nice little veneer though, nice veneer making it look pretty, and it's definitely wood. So this needs to be wired up. I've got cheap pickups from eBay. These are inexpensive Alnico ones, Alnico 5 ones. They're like 30 quid a set, the same seller on eBay as I got the ones for the Ratocaster and the Encore from, because I really like them. I believe these are 50s ones actually, because I was going to use the maple neck from the Shine, and that's more of a 50s thing than a 60s thing. And I just thought, the other guitars have got 60s style, I'll go for something a bit different. Nice CTS pots on here, and I put a shielding plate on, because there was clearly a mini switch when someone had this pick guard before me, and I hated the hole. The K, which still isn't sorted. Now, the plan was, basically I was on holiday and I got this from a junk shop, and it was like, literally like a tenner. Like, it was 15 quid. And the next day I went to a junk shop and I got a little mini acoustic that was a first stacked one, and that was a tenner. And I sold the one that was a tenner to my mate, and I just thought, you know, we could have a little combo gigging little acoustics like mini Tenacious D. The action on this is, well, you can just see it's awful. So I took this to a local shop, and I was like, okay, well, can you, I think the saddle needs filing down or something, but it's quite a nice sounding acoustic. Can you help me out? I kind of want a new nut on it because that's made of cheese, and without this the strings pop out, so that's why the capo's there. Can you do me a solid and help me out? And he said, well, you could have said it's not worth the effort, it's not worth all the work for such a cheap guitar, you'd be putting too much money into it. You could have said it might be too far gone, mate. What he did say was, this guitar's worthless. Which annoyed me, frankly. which annoys me a bit because it, you know, it makes noise. Doesn't sound too bad. Anyway, he says the top was going a little bit, curving a little bit. I don't know, it seems okay to me. Obviously I'm no expert, but it's at least 50, 60 years old. At least 50, let's say. I think it's a 50s guitar, but let's say it's at least 50 years old. So let's say the 60s. It's held itself together for that long. And to call it worthless is quite annoying. Had a new set of tuners, to be fair, but no, it's not worthless. It's not worthless. It makes noise. So I'm going to try and get this up and running in 2018 to the best of my ability, or ask someone who I reckon might actually do the work to do it, if I can find someone. Because it just annoys me. No instrument's worthless. I mean, even if you put some, you know, gauge 9s on it, you know, gave it to a kid with a slide, he'll have a whale of a time. No instrument is worthless if it makes noise. It annoys me. That does annoy me. So this is going to be making a valiant return in 2019. It's almost a point of principle for me at this stage. I mean, I was going to fix it up and use it anyway, but that did annoy me. Being told that it's worthless is annoying. I don't think that's the way you should talk to customers about their instruments, to be honest. I think it's the sort of language you should be using. And the very last one I want to show you is this Yamaha RG, what is it? RG something or other, RG121S, that's the one. And so I replaced the pickups with Wilkinson humbuckers I've had lying about, and I changed the cover on the middle single coil just because I want sparkly purple and I want cream and I want it to be outrageous. And I quite like it. So I've been trying to get this wired up basically like a Strat, but with coil tap. So it's, you know, it's as you would expect, but when I pull this, it is a Strat with the humbuckers split, and otherwise it's the same, but you know, with the humbuckers, full humbuckers. The bridge pickup is for some reason out of phase, whereas the neck isn't. And there's a ground hum, so I've probably got a ground loop somewhere. Again, I had to take the colour scheme of the Warman pickups and get a wiring diagram from someone else and kind of try and do a translation, and I don't really know what's gone wrong where, but it's not quite up and running yet. But hopefully I'll get this up and running very soon. Although I might take it to my guy to get it looked at, because there's a big dink in the side of the fretboard there as well that I want sorting out. Once that's filled in, it will play really nicely. So that's as far as my projects have got in 2018. I've also got some pedal reviews coming up, Ibanez TS9, TC Electronic, some other random stuff I'm sure I'll just acquire over the year, but I've got a few other things in the works. Joyo American Sound, that's like a Fendery preamp pedal, I want to do a review on that. I really want to do a shootout eventually of my Strat projects, so it will be an off-the-peg cheap Strat that I've bought and then modded versus a kit guitar that's been put together with higher-end parts that I've bought versus a parts caster which is built from cheap parts that I've assembled. So you've got kind of 3 levels of cheaping out on Strats, as it were, and I just want to see what the differences are. Thank you very much for supporting my channel in 2018. I've had quite a boost of subscribers, so thank you very much for that. It's really helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in 2019. So, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and bye.
Bye!